A lot of those people there and a couple little protesters don't want us to have this right. This is MAGA country. Okay, I would love if Adam could just lead this with me. We are going to walk down to the farmers market, in which I was threatened with arrest for being at.
Lakeland decided to show up and come out, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. I'm so proud of the MAGA movement.
You see these people, you think, oh, maybe they're operating good faith. They're not. Be an American, be a true American. Don't negotiate with terrorists.
I do think it's brave, though. We got one protester, so that's something, right?
Don't negotiate with terrorists, guys. Don't platform them. Don't debate them.
Remember last week when I was threatened with arrest if I didn't leave this farmer's market right here?
Stop. Step over here.
No, I'm going to continue my interviews.
Okay. Well, then I'll just disrupt you.
You're going to disrupt me?
Yeah.
You guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
Okay.
So at this point, now they do want to have you trespass from the property.
Well, I'm back. I'm not going to get arrested because they can't do that. I have lawyers on my side, and I have the First Amendment on my side, more importantly. So let's go meet some people who are standing up for free speech today and have a good time. And if you remember, I was specifically kicked out for my speech about deportation. Ironically, I wasn't talking about deportation that day, but I am today. We're gonna make deportation great again, and that's why Trump is our president. So these are my friends from the rally, the protest the other day. They're here to keep eyes on me and to warn people that I'm here. So thank you guys so much for doing a great job. So are you against me being here? Like you're just generally against free speech? Is that our Antifa friend from the protest too? Is that him? This is Magdalene. She's very passionate about what she does. I don't know the Antifa guy's name, but we'll catch up with them later. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out, especially in just a week's notice. There wasn't any call to action for this besides I know Robert and Adam kind of put this together. This is so important that you guys are here to celebrate a victory, really. We're not protesting anything because we won. We are allowed to be in the farmers market. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about in the farmers market. That was made clear by the city attorney himself, by my lawyer, and the police. And I'm calling for a public apology from Julie Townsend herself for what she tried to do. I also want an apology from the police department from taking orders from someone that they have no authority to be taking orders from. So really today is all about being so proud to be Americans and celebrating our right to free speech and being so proud of yourselves for coming out here and standing up for this when you know a lot of those people there and a couple little protesters don't want us to have this right. This is MAGA country. We are in Polk County. Did they forget this? I don't know where they think that they are. If they want a more liberal place to be, maybe they should go out to Tampa, get further into Orlando, go down to Miami. We are not going to turn Polk County blue. That's not happening. And so I think this brings to light a lot of the people who are in our government or in quasi-government officials or entities here. So pay attention to your local government, your local elections. Those are so much more important, really, than things that are happening at the federal level. We don't want people in positions of power who are going to arrest people or get the cops to threaten with arrest for talking about deportation. So I have my Make Deportation Great Again shirt here, specifically because that's what they threatened me with arrest for talking about deportation. So if you guys know anything about me, I do not back down from a fight. I welcome it. I have a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, so thank you. Appreciate it. I usually go into the lion's den where I'm not welcome. And so it's very, very rewarding, and just I'm so blessed and so grateful to you guys for coming out to be supportive, because usually I'm where I'm not welcome.
We're with you. We're with you.
Thank you so much. So I'm just going to walk through the market peacefully. I'm not going to engage with anybody. I welcome anybody who might want to just stroll through the market with our free speech attire. Join me if you would like to. It's a peaceful walkthrough, and that's it. So thank you guys again for being here. I am so blessed with your support, and Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause for coming out here and supporting this. I appreciate you guys.
Am I able to come here and put a contrary opinion out?
Yeah, I think you'd find that any one of these people would respectfully engage in discussion with you without name calling, without asking you to leave, and they would love to talk about what you have on your mind.
Okay, second point, okay. I live down here. I've had zoning issues down here. I've gone to zoning hearings, county commission. Okay, I gotta tell you, okay, I think Julie Townsend is a champion for business and a champion for people that live downtown. Okay, I think she's kind of getting painted. You're painting trim with an 8-inch brush right now. I think that she does a really, really good job of jockeying all the interests in downtown.
Okay,
And I'm sure
I don't
this
think
won't make
anyone
the
here.
newspaper, but at
Well,
the end of the
we're
day-
not saying she doesn't do a good job, but she doesn't have the right to violate constitutional rights of a citizen.
Now I got to tell you, okay, I was eating there about a month ago, and there was some, religious guy, and he's doing his free speech, and he had a boom box, okay, and he is shouting, and the people in the restaurant over there, you couldn't talk to the person across the table. The police came over very respectfully, and they moved him down the street. Okay, are they violating his rights? No, but these people here with this business, they have an ability to make a living. Okay, and I'm not going to eat there, okay, outside on a beautiful day and drop some serious money if I can't carry on a conversation with my wife and my neighbors. So at the end of the day, Julie's got a job to do, right? Everybody, right?
Can I respond to all of that?
Sure.
So there's actually an ordinance in the city where you can't use amplification devices. So he was probably breaking a law or an ordinance in the city.
This guy right over here is using an amplification.
Yeah,
right?
so there's decibels, and if it was that loud, the police do have authority to come and say, hey, that's against the city ordinance, whatever. What I was doing was none of that. I was walking down the street, engaging in people who wanted to talk to me.
I heard you were blocking traffic.
No.
And even if I wasn't blocking traffic, and even if I was blocking traffic, the issue we have with Julie Townsend is not her ability to perform, events and stuff. I think it's very obvious she's very talented in organizing events and businesses and getting things together like this. No one has a problem with the farmers market or how it's ran in terms of who's allowed in and the thing of it. Like, this is a great event. Her First Friday events are great. Whatever she does on that side is great. The issue is that she is against free speech for conservatives, and I have internal communication that says so that we will be releasing here with this video along with everything that goes on today. The issue is that she told the police to remove me for my opinions on deportation. That's what we're here today to stand against. I have every right. Even if I were blocking traffic, I was allowed to be there standing in the middle of the street because we did public records requests, and it turns out she has no authority over this street. She just has permission to be on the street. My attorney did double check that, and if she doesn't want to follow that, he's prepared to file suit and go to federal litigation with this. So
he's probably going to lose, okay? Because
okay, that's fine. I'm going to move on.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your opinion. If you want to talk to anybody else, that's fine, but I'm personally going to move on.
We are in full support of you, ma'am.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I love your sign there. Get a sign.
Correct.
LDDA violates the First Amendment. They sure do. But they were put on notice by my attorneys that if they try any of those shenanigans, we will pursue legal action. So you have been put on notice.
And I will tell you, I went down to City Hall after all this and talked to them, and they said that they had a bigger response over this, negative response over what she did, than anything that they've had other than Lake Morton flooding.
I don't think you can be an American and act this way. So, and that's what a lot of the people were acting when you were here last week, in my opinion. And I don't think that's very American-like. So,
right, yeah. We're supposed to be tough and be able to handle differing opinions. So,
exactly.
Adam, would you join me in walking down this farmers market? Okay, I would love if Adam could just lead this with me. We are going to walk down the farmers market, in which I was threatened with arrest for being at, and so we are going to walk. So what do you think about deportation?
I'm all for them. If you're illegal, come back in the right way, leave, and then reapply. I think that they should self-deport and then reapply, come in the right way.
Yeah, they should do us a favor by self-deporting, so we don't have to, go through the process and have to deal with them ourselves, right?
And Trump even said, show up at an airport and you can get a free flight to wherever you want to go, to the country of your choice. That is so kind and giving.
It is very kind of him, isn't it?
And it's just so loving. Trump is such a loving man, even to criminals that have tried to invade our country. So God bless Trump on that regard.
Absolutely. People try to paint him as mean and everything else, but I think he's actually one of the most kind presidents. There's some LDDA staff members right there. That's the guy, I think, that controls the camera and gets alerted to when they're there. This is actually a very beautiful market. I don't think anyone is talking about, being against Julie's ability to conduct beautiful events here. It's just the issue is she wants to control who gets to come and who gets to speak and what is talked about here. And the people of Polk County is not having it. So very, very proud of everybody who showed up today. Thank you personally from the bottom of my heart for standing up for what's right. Not even for me, but for your ability to speak freely on a public street that you guys pay for. And there's the spy camera right there.
That's the famous spy camera?
That's the famous spy camera right there.
I've been wanting to run into you at every farmer's market. I'm like, she's always there when I'm not there.
So you enjoy me being here?
Oh, I love it.
I don't see our friends from Jay's Marketplace. I do not see Jay's Marketplace here today. I definitely don't see that vendor. He has been fired, and I generally don't really support people getting fired for things for like outrage or anything like that. But holding up a picture of a gun at a woman and talking about her panties, that is grounds for some firing right there. Okay, I just wanted to make a statement by walking down here with all of you guys. Spend some money. Unless they're looking at you sideways and like they don't want to talk to you because you're a hat. So yes, thank you guys again for coming out. I'm just going to be out talking to people. I'm going to mingle for a few hours. So feel free to stick around and do whatever you want. Thank you again for coming. This is really, really cool. It's really awesome. Yes, please do.
Wow, for a big picture.
Yeah, we'll just take a big picture all together and then we'll do individual ones. Okay.
Say Donald Trump!
Donald Trump! Is that Magdalene? Hey Magdalene, how are you?
Do not engage the plastic carriers, guys.
You already said it at the last protest.
You
have such a sad life.
You're in the middle of the street though. You might want to come this way so you don't get run over. You guys aren't allowed to protest in the street in this state.
Nothing. I know it's hard, guys. Some of you out here, you've been studying your entire life, devoted to the study of the republic, devoted to study democracy. You see these people, you think, oh, maybe they're operating good faith. They're not. Be an American, be a true American. Don't negotiate with terrorists.
How am I a terrorist? That's a very severe accusation. How am I a terrorist?
See, they ask these questions, even though stochastic terrorism is something very easy to look up in academic literature.
If you're so smart and you're an intellectual, tell me how I'm a terrorist. That's a very bizarre claim.
If you guys are wondering, please check out our site. We'll be breaking it down.
We're right here. You could just tell us right now. I have way more followers than you. Why don't you just tell the camera so we can learn?
Yeah.
Take off your mask.
Don't negotiate with terrorists, guys. Don't platform them. Don't debate them.
All right, well,
Things in America that
she is a little surrounded, so we'll just give her some space here just to make sure she is free to move wherever she wants to go. This is Magdalene. She organizes things with her organization called Blessed by Liberty, Defund Oligarchy, Blessed by Liberty. She has been after me ever since I crashed the protest in her speech. She's a little salty about it.
Hail Mary, full of grace. There is a troll in front of my face.
But she could just have a discussion with me right now instead of accusing me to be a terrorist. That's pretty insane. So we're just going to move on from her, because if she's going to accuse me of being a terrorist, I'm not going to stick around for her to try and claim anything or try to come after me with anything. I'm not a terrorist. I'm just a little girl who likes free speech and deportation. Do you guys think I'm a terrorist, by the way? Like what is a terrorist? She won't tell us what a terrorist is.
terrorists never admit they're terrorists.
In the Klan.
Did you call them all terrorists too?
Since 1860.
I do think it's brave though. We got one protester. So that's something, right? That's something. It's funny when they don't come in their group and they don't have the mob mentality, they don't come out in droves. Because it's very ironic to be protesting free speech. Like, we're not even here to stand up for Donald Trump or even Caitlin Bennett, which I'm sure some of you are, and I greatly appreciate that. This is about free speech, and we have someone trying to be against it, and she could just tell me why she thinks I'm a terrorist, but she won't even do that. So this is her ability to embark in free speech at the farmers market, by by the way. This is the footprint of the farmers market, which she was against me engaging in. And so this is really funny. She's engaging in her free speech to call me a terrorist, which is really insane. But I'm not allowed to be here to engage in free speech in general. This is not sponsored, but a genuine shout out to Mitchell's Coffee. Literally the best coffee in downtown Lakeland. If you find yourself here or at the farmers market, which you definitely should come to, patronize Mitchell's Coffee. It's so good. So you called me Poopy Pants.
Yes. Miss Poopy Pants.
Yeah. Are you not a fan?
No, not at all.
Why not?
I don't agree with your views. I think you're very closed-minded. Make deportation great again. Yeah, I don't agree with that sentiment at all.
Okay.
Especially coming from a Hispanic background.
Okay. What does your Hispanic background have to do with?
So I am Puerto Rican, although we are technically considered United States citizens.
Yeah.
A lot of my people are still frowned upon, called Mexicans, called slurs. I don't look like them, so I often get associated as being white. But a lot of my family members, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, they don't look like me.
Okay.
They look very Hispanic, so they tend to get thrown things at them, called slurs, told to go back to their country, yet they're American citizens. Most of them were born here.
Well, I totally condemn that. I don't think anybody should be insulted like that in public. I don't think we should call people names, and I don't think that we should be rude to people. You agree with that?
Agreed.
That's interesting.
For the most part.
For the most part. So some people
Unless
you
they-
think you
they
should.
deserve it.
Yeah. Why do I deserve that?
I don't know, because it was funny.
It was funny. Why? So why not tell a Hispanic to go back to his country? Why not? Right? Is that funny?
Because why is that funny and why is that cool?
Why is it cool and funny to hurl insults at a woman you don't know anything about, except you just know some of her political opinions?
I know I know a lot about you. I see you everywhere.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for following. So, what is it
I
about?
don't follow, but I do see you everywhere. Due process should be 100% for every single person in this country. If it is denied by one person, it is denied by everybody.
I agree 100%. That's free speech.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
100%. Due process should be for everybody. It does not matter if you are an American citizen or not. You deserve due process. Because if it is taken away from one person, it is taken away from everybody.
Well, the issue here today is that I don't know if you're aware because you see my stuff everywhere.
I did see some things when I walked up.
Yeah. Do you think I have a right to be in a public area talking about deportation?
I do believe that is your right. I'm not okay with it. I do not agree with it.
Yeah.
But it is your right as long as you're not being violent. You're not messing around with people. You're not interfering with anybody. Like, that is your right. 100%.
So you called me.
Politicizing a public feel-good event.
I think so, a little bit.
Well, I'm allowed to do that anyway.
I don't know if I would agree with it being during this time where, this is just people going about their business. They're here with their family.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily agree with that, but again, this is a public space. It is your right to do this, but I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand.
No, that's really okay. You told me I was closed-minded.
Yes.
Is there an issue that you think that you would like to give me a different perspective on to change my mind?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head at this moment, but just a lot of the videos that I've seen about you talking online, it just seemed very closed-minded, and I just did not agree with it.
Well, I'm open to having my mind changed if you want to change my mind on anything.
I don't have anything off the top of my head that I can think of at the moment.
So you don't know what I believe?
I do know what you believe. I see that you are very Republican. You have that whole gun thing. Going to campus, your graduation photos on campus with that.
That happened 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago. So
I know it did.
You have the opportunity. You claim I'm closed-minded. You want to hurl false accusations and rumors and names about me. And so I'm standing here talking to you despite all of that. And I would love, but you don't have to. If you can, you are welcome to try to change my mind on something. So, but I don't think you actually know much about me.
No, I do. Believe me, I do. I've seen you everywhere. You are all over social media. I just don't have anything off the top of my head that I can think of to talk about in debate or whatever you want to call it at the moment.
All right. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. We are just peacefully walking with my Make Deportation Great Again shirt. We have our free speech with us today in the form of signs and hats and flags. And we're basically just standing up for free speech in downtown Lakeland and saying the LDDA does not have authority to tell anybody that they can or can't be in here for their speech.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button.
That's right.
Follow all the good stuff.
That's right. There you go, Trump.
You can be in the background if you want. Looking creative. Come on, be my bodyguard.
So this is Adam Francisco. He is in the Tampa area. He's also a content creator and a YouTuber. Yep. So go and find his stuff. We'll link him in the bottom there. So you reacted to my video, and I was watching it live about what happened at the farmers market, and I think you were the first one to say, I'm gonna go out there.
Yeah, immediately when I saw the video, I knew that I had to make an appearance and just defend free speech. And my channel is all about wearing my MAGA hat in different public places and getting reactions and having conversations. So I was like, this is going to be the perfect place to show Julie, like, we're here and we exist. But then Lakeland decided to show up and come out, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. I'm so proud of the MAGA movement.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this, and I appreciate it. It's a good time. So what was your interactions like out there today? Was anyone mad that you were here? And
a lot of weird looks from vendors. They would kind of like stare at me with like big googly eyes, but no one said anything. I think that these people are standing down. I mean, I think you said it during your speech, we already won the election.
Yeah.
And we won. And so I think people realize, like, we're here to stay, we're not going anywhere, and I think Julie played her hand really, really wrong. That was messed up by Julie.
Do you think Julie owes an apology not only to me, but every other Trump supporter who she has tried to intimidate from coming out to this market in a public street?
Absolutely. And I just saw the spy cam that you were talking about at Jimmy John's. That is so creepy that they're using AI facial recognition software to find us. I did wave at their camera just to say, like, screw you guys. But this is like some communist big censorship government they're trying to run down here in Lakeland. Gotta vote these people out.
So apparently they claim that that's turned off, and that was about over a year ago that they claimed that they turned it off because they got so much backlash from the residents here in Lakeland saying we do not want this. They actually were threatened with litigation from the ACLU of all people, and they said they turned it off. But that was over a year ago. We don't know if they've turned them back on. We have no clue what's going on with these cameras that has facial recognition software that Julie can put a picture in and watch anybody and get alerted on her she personally gets alerted that these people come into town.
Well, they found you last week after, like, you walked away, and within a few minutes.
Fishing.
Yeah, they knew exactly where you were.
Fishy.
And by the way, I want to introduce my bodyguard, Carlos.
Hi, Carlos. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
So I think it's pretty funny. The vendors probably saw him, and something went tilt, can't register because he's a person of color and he's wearing MAGA.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to come out with.
Yeah. Well, he probably has internalized racism. Is that what they say?
Hey, I do want to say I am an immigrant, but I came here legally when I was a newborn through the adoption process, and I stand with legal immigration. I have nothing against immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself. We love immigrants. Just come here the right way so we can vet you and we know who you are. And, you know, become an American, and that's the way to do it.
Okay, this is the husband of Julie Townsend, who is the executive director of the LDDA. He has since deleted everything that I'm about to read you, probably from backlash and embarrassment from publicly posting something so ridiculous. So this is what he said. I want your reaction and perhaps a response to him. And for all of you here, this man used to be on the school board. So keep that in mind when I'm reading these quotes, because this man was in charge partly of the schools in Polk County. I don't want MAGA freaks to have any kind of power over me or anyone else. They pollute public life with their behavior. And I have learned that they shrink like the mob-joining cowards they are when confronted with relentless moral aggression. I have learned that when you take the moral fight to them, they duck the fight. We have largely purged Trump/MAGA from our civic life in Lakeland. This is the husband of the executive director of the farmers market. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, sounds like he didn't vote for Donald Trump. Classic communist.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I go to, like, Democrat protests all the time, and you do too, obviously, and you try to interview these guys, have a civil conversation, it turns into insults and them clearly backing off or running away. So yeah.
Absolutely. Are you a MAGA freak?
I like America, so I'm a freak for, like, America first.
Yeah, right.
So,
you're America first freak.
but I'm not, like, radical, burning buildings to the ground, or, you know.
That's like Black Lives Matter and the Democrats, right?
Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got the right description of what a freak is these days. Yeah, so he calls Trump supporters MAGA freaks. and he says that he has mainly purged Trump supporters from public and civic life in Lakeland.
Obviously not.
Right?
Obviously not.
Obviously not. If you could say something to him who has such vitriolic opinions about you, I'm guessing your family, and all of us standing here, what would you say to him?
I would say I would support his right to free speech, and he has the right to say whatever he wants, but it doesn't mean that we don't exist and we're going to be stomped out of Lakeland or Polk County because we're here.
Yeah, we're here. And this is MAGA country.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is what he said, and I just want your response. I don't want MAGA freaks to have any kind of power over me or anyone else. They pollute public life with their behavior. I have learned that when you take the moral fight to them, they duck the fight. We have largely purged Trump/MAGA from our civic life in Lakeland. That is, unless the MAGA bring them back. Are you a MAGA freak?
I'd say so.
Actually, I just had an idea. I should have shirts with MAGA freak on it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's actually a great idea. Okay, actually, merch idea. Thank you, Billy Townsend, for the merch idea. Would you buy a shirt if it said MAGA freak on it?
I think I would.
I think I would too. Okay.
Sell it at the farmer's market.
And sell it at the farmer's market, right. All right, you go to lhmerch.com right now if you want to buy a shirt that says MAGA freak on it. Thank you, Billy Townsend. Actually, we're gonna just take this. It's kind of like the fake news term, and we're gonna embrace it. Yeah, we're MAGA freaks. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Are you going to be purged from civic life in Lakeland?
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Absolutely. Why is free speech so important in our public areas?
Well, I mean, it's either that or we become another Soviet Union. We need to be able to do whatever we can to protect the Constitution and prevent us from ending up like Europe, where they get arrested for mean tweets.
Absolutely, because this can go further than just being in a public street during, a farmer's market and people aren't liking what you say. It could extend into our online presence and or just typing our opinions away at 2 a.m., right?
Right.
It was a very successful day here at the MAGA market, so it's no longer Julie's farmer's market. It's not the LDA thing anymore. It's the MAGA market. And I heard all the vendors got refunded by Julie because, it was just such an awful day to have all these Trump supporters here. So all the vendors, you're welcome for a free Saturday here at the farmer's market. If you liked what you saw today and you appreciate everybody coming out, standing up for free speech, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget, the only way I can keep coming out here and doing this is for your support at patreon.com/CaitlinBennett. If you want to chat with me one-on-one, you can get into there for just $5 a month, and we have a lot of good discussions. So thank you guys for your support, and we're gonna keep walking down the farmer's market and get home to my babies.